It was known as one of the darkest days in BNSF's history. It was known as one of the worst accidents in BNSF's history, and it was known as one of the worst train accidents in US history, when two trains collide head-on in a devastating collision, almost killing everyone from both trains. And to this day, many still talk about this crash. This is the story of the 2016 Panhandle train collision, one of the worst train disasters ever.
June 28th, 2016. BNSF train QCHI SBD 27L, or BNSF 5416 East, was getting ready for its departure out of Wellington, Kansas, with an engineer and a conductor who were called on duty at 1:45 a.m. They would receive a job safety briefing upon arriving at the Wellington depot. They had been off duty for 21 hours and 25 minutes, so rest wasn't a concern. The train had 5 engines on the head end: BNSF-9 5416, ES-44DCs 7553,
7907,
ES-44C4 8191, and another -9 5212.
46-year-old Derek Shirley was the engineer, and 45-year-old Laura Taylor was the conductor.
BNSF train SLEC LPC 1-26K was preparing for its departure out of Amarillo, with 52-year-old engineer Cody Owens and 59-year-old conductor Kenneth Smith, as they were called on duty at 6:15 a.m. that morning. Both were arrested, or so it seemed, with the engineer being off duty for 30 hours and the conductor being off duty for 61 hours. The train was powered by 5 locomotives in the consist, with Dash 9 5162, ES44DC 7838, and ET44C4 3967 up front, with ES44C4 8234 and ET44C4 3970 at the back. At the time, 3967 and 3970 had been in service for about 8 months. Before we continue on with the story, let's talk about the Tier 4s. The Tier 4s are the next generation of the General Electric family. BNSF, Union Pacific, CSX, Canadian National, Kansas City Southern, and Norfolk Southern got the opportunity to purchase these locomotives. Now, the Tier 4s have a larger radiator made up of 2 angled panels in a roof-like shape, or like the back of a house, depending on how you look at it. Also lacking in air-to-air intercooler. The Tier 4 guarantees 99.995% uptime or 26.3 minutes of annual downtime, compared with the Tier 3 series that guaranteed 99.982% uptime or 1.6 hours annual downtime. They would be first put into service in 2015, with Canadian National being the first to purchase them.
The next few minutes were uneventful. Both trains were approaching Panhandle, Texas. And were face to face on the same track. However,
there is a safe way to pass each other without any issues.
5162 was supposed to stop on the main at milepost 525.4 to allow 5416 West to pass them by, diverting onto the siding, and the Eastbound would continue east as soon as the Westbound cleared the main. At 8:06 a.m., the dispatcher attempted to contact 5162 East by giving them a heads up about a meet at Panhandle, but he would get no response. He then requested a radio check, and while some in the area said good, the train he was looking for didn't respond. He tried to contact 5416 at 8:12, and the crew did acknowledge this radio communication. Both trains had received the correct signals to follow. The approach medium was set for 5416 West, and the full yellow approach was for 5126 East. At around 8:17 a.m., 5416 West was beginning to slow down. However,
5162 East
was still thundering down the line at nearly 70 miles an hour. The trains got closer to each other, and all 4 crew members failed. And then
What came next was devastating. The two trains collided head-on into each other at 8:21 a.m. at a combined speed of 94 miles an hour. 3 of the 8 locomotives from the head ends of both trains were completely destroyed from the impact, 2 more suffered catastrophic damage, and 3 more suffered minor damage. Multiple containers from both trains zigzagged and went off the rails, piling up into one another, and some being tossed around like toys. Fuel tanks from some of the locomotives of the trains erupted, causing a huge ball of fire with toxic smoke rising so high that it could be seen for miles. All 4 crew members from both trains would be trapped and buried amongst the wreckage. One witness stated that he had heard a gruesome sound and that it just kept going and going. That meant this wasn't good. After witnesses saw the scene unfold and after a barrage of 911 calls were made, rescuers were on the way. When they arrived, they wasted no time on putting out the fire and soon searched for any survivors, though it seemed unlikely that anyone could have survived. Amazingly, there was one. The engineer of 5416 West, Derek Schilling, had actually managed to jump from his train just moments before impact. When rescuers found him, he would be taken to a hospital in Amarillo. He was badly injured with grave injuries, but alive. As for the remaining 3 crew members, all 3 died, after either being crushed to death by huge flying debris, inhaling black smoke, or possibly perished in the flames. This accident was one of the worst in BNSF's history and amongst the worst in the United States in so many years. So, what happened? Who was at fault?
The NTSB, or the National Transportation Safety Board, the FRA, or the Federal Railroad Administration, BNSF Railway, the Brotherhood of Locomotive Engineer and Trainmen, and the Intermodal Administration of Steel, Metal, Air, Rail, and Transportation Workers all launched an investigation after the crash, as the probable cause of the crash was clearly signaled past that danger by the crew of 5162 East. But why though? I mean, trains can't run through red signals for no reason, can't they? Well, it had been revealed that the engineer of 5162 East was feeling fatigued due to sleep apnea. Although it was unclear why though, but the investigation also revealed that the engineer had poor quality of sleep the night before the accident, and the conductor of 5162 East took medication before being on duty and was feeling the side effects before the collision unfolded. Both trains were clearly doomed the moment they crossed siren one another at the same place, on the same track, and at the same time.
In the end, 5416,
5162,
and 7553 were completely obliterated from the impact and would never be rebuilt. 5212 and 3967 were damaged beyond repair and scrapped. 3967 was the first Tier 4 series to be scrapped due to this wreck. 7909, 7838, and 8191 were repaired and returned to service and continue to operate to this day, while 8234 and 3970 were undamaged and continue to operate to this day.
It's been 8 years since that horrifying collision occurred, and to this day, the Panhandle collision remains as one of the worst wrecks in BNSF's history.